I'm just figuring out how to work this shit, so y'all gotta work with me. Oh, and I do want to take the time to thank a special person, Ascension. I appreciate you for the PA system. You know, thank you. Anyways, so, so now I'm sitting inside the mental health hospital. And as I'm sitting inside the mental health hospital, I'm just trying to get my mind right. Trying to cope with, everything. I'm also, halfway texting the nigga who, I've been dealing with, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So I text him, just talking shit. Well, not really talking shit, but just a little upset, trying to figure out some shit. And he like, but we always use condoms. So, and we did. So now I got to rethink this whole shit. And I know about the needle stick, and I know I didn't say anything, but, and I ain't trying to blame nobody for that. You know what I mean? That was my fault. I should have said something. But, what I am trying to do is acknowledge these people. I let these people know, like, hey, this happened, and, what if it happened to somebody else? What if somebody else is unsure about what to do? Just trying to implement some type of policies or procedures against, like, some type of training, maybe, in the facility to where, people don't have to guess what to do in the event of a needle stick. They know what to do in the event of a needle stick. But, I ain't pressing the issue. I'm really just coping, accepting the fact that I am HIV positive, accepting the fact that this is going to change my life, accepting the fact that, I'm going to have to rearrange some things. So, as I am, processing, I started writing. So I'm basically writing a book at this point. You know what I'm saying? Which this was like 2 years ago. So now I'm writing a fucking book. And just, trying to process. And I felt like that was going to help me process and face what was going on with me. So skip past all of that. I get out. You know what I'm saying? Tequila done used the car. She done took my mama where she needed to be. So I get out. She bring me. She come pick me up. Shit regular. Regular shit. So time goes on. You know what I'm saying? And, I'm out on FMLA leave and so on and so forth. I end up talking to Mr. Roby about, returning, but returning at a different capacity. Like not being a phlebotomist anymore. Okay, now when I started the job, I started as a medical screener. So I'm asking him if it's possible for me to go back to medical screening. He's telling me no, if I can't come back at full capacity, then I might as well not come back. And so I say, well, I got a doctor's note and everything, Mr. Roby, that, basically is seconding, like, this is, confirming what I'm telling you. Like, I need to take some time for my mental health. And he being real uppity and nasty about the shit. But, I push past that and say, well, can we at least talk about it? So we schedule a time for me to come in to discuss this. Now, at this point, it's fucking February of 2021. This shit happened in, December of 2022. You know what I'm saying? And even by that point, I had became non-detectable and unreactive within like a matter of at least 30 days. A little bit less than that, really, but I'm gonna say 30 days. Like, no shit. You know what I'm saying? I was taking my medication. I was taking my supplement. Boom, knocked that shit out. Undetectable, non-reactive, meaning I can't transmute, meaning, I'm not contagious, meaning I could have literally blood-on-blood contact with your ass and you wouldn't get it. Okay? I can literally pass a fucking HIV test. Like, that's what y'all need to update yourselves on, the knowledge of it. Okay? Get the knowledge, boo. The knowledge lets you know that if you taking your medication, you cannot transmute. If you taking your medication every day, you are non-reactive. You can have blood-on-blood contact. You can have unprotected sex. You can pass a fucking HIV test. Okay? Like you don't even have it, like you never had it. So, That's just to address the stigmas that's associated with people with HIV, thinking that, oh, you got HIV, you just around here passing that shit around. No, you got HIV, you take your fucking medication. Then you ain't got to worry about passing that shit around. But you know, it's some nasty motherfuckers out here that will pass that shit around. My mama ain't raised me like that. So I don't understand it, but it's people that will do it. Now, skip past all of, all of the bullshit, because I'm being like, people is just saying all type of stupid shit. And I know people say, they'll say something, anything to try to help you cope. But I mean, people at the health clinic, the lady told me, oh, this don't mean that you can't have sex no more. Like that. I'm not worried about having sex, bitch. I'm worried about my health. I'm worried about my life. I'm worried about my safety. I'm worried about my survival. How am I going to continue to work when these people is at my job talking shit about me and spread my business and making it impossible for me to even take a demotion, so that way I can mentally process what the fuck is going on in my life? So when I do get, we set the appointment to discuss at what capacity I was going to return back to work. We scheduled an appointment. I show up. Mr. David Roby ain't even in the fucking building. Mr. David Roby is on motherfucking PTO leave. So Mr. David Roby gonna be gone for 2 weeks. So you done slick-legged me and tricked me into coming up to this facility. And now I got management basically like, well, just go ahead on and work a little bit and see if you can handle it. So, I'm like, what? So I end up leaving. I end up contacting FMLA. I end up basically letting them know what's going on. And by by February 25th of 2021, my employer had turned in a falsified 2-week notice, basically saying that I came up there and let them know that I was turning in my 2-week notice and that I would be leaving the job. So I don't know nothing about this shit. But on February 25th, I finds out through my FMLA provider, telling me MetLife on the letter telling me, oh, your employer notified us that you was going to be leaving your job. We're sorry to hear that you're leaving. So on and so forth. So I'm like, what? Now, in the process of all of this, these people talk about me. These people spread my business. And one of the girls who worked up there that is friends with Tequila, because now, me and Tequila cool, because, she seems to be concerned about my well-being. She seems to be, concerned about my mental health. She seems to be concerned about me being able to cope and adapt and live with this virus. So, we cool. She talking to another girl up that used to work up there named Desir. Desir then basically feeling sorry for me, says that she could try to get me on at her job. You know what I'm saying? So I was already in the process of looking for other employment. So when they did what they did by turning in a falsified 2-week notice, I just rolled with that shit and just was like, you know what? Man, fuck it. I'm not finna worry about this shit. But in the back of my mind, it did not sit well with me that, I could have possibly got stuck at this place and contracted HIV. And what if this done happened to somebody else? You know what I'm saying? I remember Tequila hadn't already brought up that the girl boyfriend found out he was HIV positive. And, they spread their business throughout the fucking center. So now I'm in this situation. The sir is getting me a job by way of Tequila. Okay? And I'm appreciative of the job. I end up getting a job. I get the job at Ascension Consolidated Labs through Ascension St. Vincent's. I'm happy as fuck to get this job. These people paying me more. Okay? Not only is they paying me more, they treating me like somebody with some sense. They very appreciative of my work ethic. So I'm feeling like, even in the midst of all of this bullshit that's going on, I'm feeling like God blessing me, like always. So I'm not really tripping on none of that shit. I'm just trying to come to terms with the fact that I'm HIV positive, and come to terms with the fact that this gonna change the way that I gotta live. It's gonna change the way that I gotta function, and it's gonna change a lot of things about, you know, my life and how it has been thus far. So, you know, I'll skip past all that. Now, what I did do was file a claim for discrimination and violation of my HIPAA rights through the OCR, or the ORC. I don't know, Organization of Civil Rights. So I filed a claim with them. As I filed a claim with them, I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta get used to it. And once again, thank you for this. I appreciate you. It's making my job a little bit easier, and I don't gotta yell as much. But I end up getting a job. I'm working. I'm traveling all over throughout the city because I am a PRN at this position. I don't have full employment. I don't have benefits. I don't have permanent employment. So I don't have access to any of the hardship programs that these people have, or any of, you know, the paying for college programs like reimbursement, tuition reimbursement, so on and so forth. You know, only thing I had access to at this point was retirement, which I could put money into my retirement. So I was cool with all of that. You know, I was staying afloat. FMLA had carried me up until that point. You know, I had gotten my retirement disbursement because they turned in a 2-week notice on my behalf, even though I didn't sign that document. But I did get a retirement disbursement. So I'm afloat. I'm cooling. I'm chilling. Like, ain't really shit changed other than the fact that I'm HIV positive now. So I ain't pressed. I'm going through my little, you know, going through this, going through that, just, you know, working, you know, life, just living life. You know, me and my mama end up putting our money together. We, like, updated the house a little bit, got a little bit of new furniture, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I really felt like my mama was, you know, doing this to be supportive of me, to make me feel like I had made her feel when she contracted HIV. You know, I supported her and took care of her, moved her out the hood into a nice little apartment on the south side, you know, and I put myself through school and still took care of my mama. So now I think my mama is trying to return the favor. So we get a new sofa, you know, we get a couple new rugs, we get a washer and a dryer. You know what I'm saying? Like, we working together now. And everything is everything. Okay? However, somewhere around by, I want to say June of 2021, not June, but somewhere in the middle of the year. Okay? We in the middle of the year now. They tell me that they're not going to investigate the claim for the violation of my HIPAA rights. They say that, you know, we don't have the resources to perform an investigation. I'm feeling a little disheartened because I'm feeling like, you know, don't nobody really even care that this is going on at this facility, you know, and they doing all type of forging fucking documents and shit. And they, you know, a person don't just do some shit like that because, oh, that's the first time they done did it. No, when a bitch is comfortable with forging documents, baby, that mean they been doing that shit. So, you know, and I'm trying to bring light to this shit, and it don't seem like nobody even really give a fuck. Now, in the midst of all of this, Tequila tells me this. Oh, a girl came up the other day and found out she was HIV positive. So that means it's 3 people that done donated at Art the Pharma Plasma that done popped up HIV positive. None of them have had sexual relationships with the other. However, they HIV positive and they partner not. The person that they is been with in a monogamous relationship ain't. That's not no fucking coincidence, bitch. That's a conspiracy. That's what that is. Because there's no way in the hell you could tell me that I turn up HIV positive. Nobody that I done been with in the past 5 years is HIV positive. Nobody. What the fuck? Then Find out this girl done found out she HIV positive after I found out I was HIV positive. How she get it? Then the boy finds out before I found out. He found out, and his partner don't even have it neither. How the fuck he get it? But you know, I ain't think about none of this at the time. I ain't think about none of this. I'm really focused on, you know, maintaining. I done achieved non-detectable, non-reactive in a matter of a month. I'm focused on maintaining my health, baby. I got this. That's where I'm at with it. Like, shit, this shit ain't nothing. I got this. It ain't gonna be the end of my life. Bitch, I'm booted and suited, ready for war. So I'm handling mine. Okay? Now, in the process of all of this, come towards the end of the year, you know, the end of 2021, and now my now ex-husband is being released. Okay? At that point, we were still married. But he's being released. So when he get released, he had basically had them issue me some money from his work release facility, and I've held on to it. I haven't touched it. I haven't needed to spend it because, like I said, I got my FMLA. They took care of me. I was working, which they was paying me more. It was almost like the devil tried to shit me, and God said, "Nah, not this one." You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was real. God was like, "Nah, boo, you gonna have to get your hands up off this one." So my life was not fucked up by the fact that I was HIV positive. My life was actually enhanced by the fact that I was HIV positive. So I was feeling real lucky and feeling real blessed and feeling real like, you know, God loved me and the sun shining on me and God favors me. So now, here it is, the point to where, okay, shit started getting a little short at work. Like, hours started getting a little short. You know, this started happening, that started happening. My ex-husband gets out. He do some fuck shit, you know what I'm saying, and pull some stunts and run through his money, run through my money. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm struggling. Okay? I feel as though this nigga done got out with a vengeance. Okay? Now, we not going to get into the details of that on this particular video, but I will discuss that shit later. I contact the organizations, Lutheran Services, who are supposed to help people in my situation. You know what I'm saying? I contact Our Florida because they is paying people rent because of COVID. I contact a couple of other organizations, you know, all really simultaneously. I'm contacting these organizations, and, you know, some of them take time. Like, some of them will take a couple of months to actually process everything. So when I contact Miss Audrey Green, she processed me a payment, no problems, no hold, no wait, no nothing, no issues. I gave her my paycheck stubs. I gave her my Ryan White card. I gave her all my information that she asked for as far as pertaining to my financial situation, and, you know, so on and so forth. Now, come the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, I done fucked around and caught COVID now. Now, I made it through the whole fucking pandemic, y'all. The whole pandemic without contacting or contracting COVID. Now I got COVID because one of my employees or one of my co-workers, one of my fellow co-workers, he had COVID. He had it like 3 or 4 different times. Okay, and just so happens I end up contracting COVID. Now, you know, in the midst of everything, the people at my job is loving me. Okay? They love the fuck out of me. Like, you can ask people that work at Ascension, you know what I'm saying, that have worked with me. These people fucking fuck with me. Okay? Because they know she get on here, she do her job, she don't ask many questions, she don't need a lot of supervision, you know, and she good at what she do. You know? So I ain't feeling no type of way about it. No, you know, I ain't feeling no type of way. But I got COVID now, and I was unable to work for like a whole fucking month. So I had to contact Miss Green again and asked her, you know, I had COVID, I ain't been able to work. Can you take care of February's rent for me? She said, no problem, sweetie, I got you. Just send me the information. I sent her the documents, you know, real cool about every fucking thing. Now, this particular time, I asked her for her assistance. When I go to give her the paperwork that she need, I go up to her office to give her the paperwork that she requested from me. She takes note of the fact that I'm driving the 2020 Kia Forte. And basically says to me like, oh, well, how much you pay for that car payment? So now you worrying about shit you ain't got no business worrying about. Because y'all don't stipulate in y'all guidelines that me having a vehicle makes me uneligible for your services. Y'all stipulate in y'all guidelines that I have to have proof that I was previously able to take care of my bills, which I have proof because I work. I have proof that I've been handling my bills my whole fucking life without asking a bitch for anything. Shit, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I took care of my mama for the 10 years, I never asked them for help. I think one time they paid my light bill because I was taking care of my mama. One time out of the whole 10 years. Okay? Now, here it is. I'm in this situation, and, you know, my ex-husband is at this point, we still married, and he doing spiteful and vengeful shit and putting stress on me because he wants me to pay for the fact that I contracted HIV right before he got out. He don't want to hear, oh, me and this guy was wearing condoms. He don't want to hear nobody else that I've been with has HIV. He don't want to hear that. He wants to tell me I ain't protect myself, and he's basically trying to inflict mental agony and scrutiny upon me. The whole time, I don't know how the fuck I got this shit. I don't know. I know me and this dude wore condoms. I know I stuck myself with that needle. But they won't do an investigation, so I can't find out anything on anything. So I've just come to terms with accepting the fact that I ain't gonna never know where it came from. But I gotta get through this. But this nigga wanna try and make shit complicated. And now this lady is asking me about my car. You know, you supposed to be helping people and you worrying about what type of car I'm driving. Which really, it has no effect on anything that's going on. So, now mind you, I'm using this car to get my mama back and forth to Gainesville for her VA appointments. I'm using this car to get my mama back and forth to her doctor's appointments. I'm using this car for everything for my family. I'm using this car for my employment. I'm using this car for my little business. I'm using this car for everything. So if I don't have this car, I can't get back and forth to St. Johns County to get to work. I can't get back and forth to all of the different locations that they have. But sometimes I was working in Fleming. Sometimes I was working in Jacksonville on the west side. Sometimes I was working on the south side. Sometimes I had to get all the way out to State Road 220 or some shit like that. Something like that. State Road something, which is basically St. Augustine. Okay, that's basically a whole nother county, which is like 45 to an hour away. So you worry about what year and model and make this is and how much my payments is. But I'm concerned with how I'm going to get around if I don't have access to this vehicle. How am I going to maintain my life if I can't work? If I can't get to where the employer say he want me to be? Anyways, now during this same time, my mama has taken off work now because she is now having knee problems. Like the cartilage in her knee is completely gone. So she is actually taking off work, getting prepared to have surgery performed where they are going to do a knee replacement. Now this is the end of 2021. So think about that. think about, you know, all the shit that happened in the 2020, the fact that I handled that shit like a pro. I did not even bat a fucking eye. And I did not point the blame and say, oh, 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 oh. You know, I just was simply trying to figure out where the fuck this shit came from. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I've been trying to do. Figure out where it came from and figure out how to maintain. And, you know, it got to the point where I just said, fuck it. I accept that I ain't gonna never find out where it came from. I just need to focus on maintaining. Now my mama having surgery. My husband at the time is out of work release. He out of prison, which he done been locked up for the past 12 fucking years. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm just trying to take care of my motherfucking family. You know what I'm saying? While keeping my non-detectable, non-reactive status. That's it. Work my little job, take my ass to work, come home, eat, relax, smoke, go to sleep. Do it all over again the next day. Okay? So, I ain't focused on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Nah. In the midst of all of this, my mama getting ready to have surgery. She ends up having the surgery performed. The next year has come in. Now it is 2022. Okay? 2022, Miss Audrey starts asking questions about my vehicle. And my landlord somehow miraculously has not received the check that Miss Audrey has sent to her for my rent. So it's damn near the middle of 2022 at this point. It's like May and she still ain't received the check that was supposed to be sent way back in February. So, and I'm, you know, still making payments, but she is still racking up late fees on me. She is still, you know, she's sending me 3-day notices. She doing all of this, she doing all of that. Now, the first time, you ain't have no problem with receiving a payment. You had no problem with receiving that check and, you know, adding it to my account. You had no issues with that. But now it's like you got an issue and you being slick telling me, oh, well, you need to make sure that you paying your rent. Even if these organizations is going to help you, it's your responsibility to pay your rent. I said, I know it's my responsibility, which is why I asked Miss Audrey to take care of this way back in fucking January. Okay? It's motherfucking May now. If you have not received that check, then what the fuck is the problem with it? Well, you know, so come to find out, she ain't even went to the mailbox to check to see if the check done came. She ain't never inside her office. So I called up there. She ain't never available. The only way I can get in contact with this lady is through email. I don't have no problem because I know how to type. But I noticed that she's being funny now. I take note that she's being funny. I take note that Miss Audrey is asking me about my car and, you know, looking at me sideways like I'm trying to finagle the system, like I'm trying to scam the system. Bitch, I'm not scamming shit. I literally only asked y'all for assistance when I needed it. Now, we find out that she ain't even give us the right address to send the check to. They done moved locations. So all county property management has now moved locations of their office. We was not informed when she gave me another lease. It didn't have the new address on it. So you ain't even updated your files to change the address on the lease. But we supposed to know that you done moved offices. So I let her know, like, had you informed us that y'all hadn't relocated the office, this check probably would have been to you. However, I've contacted Miss Audrey Green. She informed me that she will be sending you a certification of basically no acknowledging and accepting the responsibility of the payment. Then she issued out another check so that way it could get taken care of. Now, I handled this with Miss Green way back in January, beginning of February of 2022. Now, it's fucking May of 2022, and you still ain't got this check. And you trying to be funny and trying to talk sideways to me. Talking about how it's my responsibility and it's my job and it's my duty, as if I don't know that already. But it's also your job and your duty to make sure you giving us the correct information, so when we send that money to you, you get it. So boom. Now, somewhere along the line in between us, somebody has basically hacked my account. Okay, I'm $7,000 short, in the red at ViStar. Then somebody hacks my fucking unemployment and goes and tries to file for unemployment under my name. So now I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, everything going wrong. It's like shit was going good and bitches got mad that I wasn't hurt, or I wasn't phased by the fact that I was HIV positive. Like, people was really acting out because they was mad that I wasn't phased. So somebody done tried to file for unemployment under my name. My employer contacts me and says, Jessica, you know, you filed for unemployment? I said, no. She said, well, somebody did. She said, because I just got a call from the unemployment office basically trying to confirm whether that you was still working here or not. I said, oh, shit. So now I got to deal with that. Okay? Now I got to try and fill out an identity affidavit. I got to try and get all this information and documentation about what's going on with my accounts. This, that, and the third. In the midst of the fact that my mama hadn't just had surgery at the end of 2021, it's, you know, she's still healing. She's still trying to adapt to having a new metal rod in her knee. You know what I mean? They got, you know, the people coming to the house, you know, to help her to perform physical therapy on her. You know, just all this shit is just going on. And I'm just like, okay, like I thought I had this shit, but now I don't feel like I got this shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, me and this nigga going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And in the midst of all of this, boom, I'm at work one day. I am in the process of taking another position in the same company. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be at a different, like a permanent location. I won't be driving around from here to there, here to there. So I'm in the process of taking that position. I'm at work, and a kid and his mother and his grandmother coming to, you know, get the kid blood samples collected. Okay. Now, this particular day, this kid was very, 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 very irate. And he was not going for being stuck with no needle. And he was kicking, he was screaming. You had his mama holding him down. You had his grandmama holding him down. And me standing there paralyzed. Because all I could think about was that needle stick. Like, all I could think about was that needle stick. All I could think about was, what if. And that shit had me paralyzed. Like, I had the needle in my hand. I had not taken the cap off. I was literally just standing there trying to find the courage to move forward to collect the blood sample. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to find the courage to move forward and collect this blood sample. And all I can think is, what if this happens? What if that happens? Now, even though, yes, I have been, you know, educated in the fact that as long as I'm taking my antivirals, I cannot transmit this to no one. As long as I'm taking my antivirals every day, I cannot transmute this to anybody. We can have blood on blood contact and we can't transmute it. We can have unprotected sex and not transmute it. So I'm sitting up paralyzed because this kid is fucking cock strong. Like, this little kid is like, they need to put him in wrestling, football, or something, because he is a beast. You know what I'm saying? He a beast. Like, he kicking, his mama holding him, his grandmama holding him. They forcefully holding him too. Like, they ain't being like polite about it. They holding him. And he still kicking. He's still moving. He's still, you know what I'm saying? So, somewhere in the midst of all of this, Jessica walks the fuck out the building. I walked out the motherfucking building. Now, I gotta talk to my employer I gotta call my management because I know I just left my job. I just basically abandoned my job at that point. So I end up contacting Miss Erin. I talked to her. Now, Miss Erin was very, very cool about it. I talked to her and she asked me, well, Jessica, what happened? And I basically went into the whole spiel about how, you know, I contracted HIV by way of a needle stick at my job. And, you know, I just, when the little boy was acting the way that he was acting, I couldn't get that out of my mind. And didn't want to be responsible for him possibly having to deal with having HIV for the rest of his life. I didn't want to be held responsible for that. And that's all I could think about. So, yeah, I left. And she was very understanding. Like, I mean, I really felt like at this point I hadn't looked up. And I wish I would have never taken the other position within this organization. I wish I would have stayed where I was at because I was good though. You know, and I did think, you know, me taking the other position was going to put me in a better place. However, it did not. You know, after this, you know, I was promised I was going to get at least 30 hours a week, and I didn't get even 10 hours a week. You know, just, you know, driving all that way, trying to pay for gas. Gas prices was hella high, you know, and so once I did, you know, change positions and I noticed that my hours was being cut, I basically started looking for another job. I basically contacted Miss Erin and asked her, was it like possible for me to come to the hospital and pick up extra shifts so that way I could make up for the hours that I wasn't getting at St. John's. In the midst of all of this, I also had applied for I applied for my business. I also enrolled myself into a contest through Orbit.com for my music. Now, I had never even let nobody really listen to my music. But one of the girls at work, Marcelina, she heard my music. And she was like, girl, you need to put that out there. So I started putting it out there. And just so happens I got accepted into the contest. I made it all the way to the semifinals in the contest. You know, and with everything that's going on, now my car starts fucking breaking down. You know what I'm saying? And this is a brand new car. So I end up contacting the lemon law lawyer and, you know, just starting the whole process of trying to get some type of resolution as far as fixing this car, because I take the car to the shop and they end up replacing the whole transmission on the brand new 2020 Kia, and it ain't nothing but 2022. So I'm trying to figure out what the fuck, you know, why did you need to replace my transmission? Like, it's so much shit just piling up to where I'm really at this point starting to feel like somebody is doing spell work on me. You know, like a bitch is not happy about the fact that I took that shit on the chin and I kept going. Like a nigga took a licking and kept on ticking. So bitch ain't happy about that. So all of this negative energy that's starting to enter into my environment is coming in my mind. Bitch putting spells on me. A bitch putting black magic on me. A bitch, you know, wishing bad on me. So that's where I'm at with it. Now I do got PTSD and it is documented, you know, but I ain't paranoid about shit. I'm very aware. So as I'm dealing with all of this stuff that's just seemed like it's just piling up, you know, my employer is cutting my hours so low, my car keep breaking down, my husband is like attacking me. I've actually filed for a divorce by now. You know, so he really attacking me. He done went online and basically decided that he was gonna go online and expose me and talk about my business and tell everybody that I'm HIV positive. You know, all of this shit that happened, and it just seemed as though at that point to where God was telling me, live in your authentic self, boo. Stop being ashamed about your HIV positive status. Stop feeling like you gotta hide your HIV positive status because people don't understand it and they don't accept you for it, you know. And I just was like, you know, fuck this shit. I'm finna live in my truth. If it make a bitch uncomfortable, it make a bitch uncomfortable. So I'm at work, you know what I'm saying, a little bit emotionally disturbed. You know, my ex-husband got on live and tried to, you know, dispose my fucking information just like my fucking ex-employer did, you know. And I'm just like, you know, God, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like, I ain't never did nobody wrong. Only thing I did to him was the shit that he told me to do. Like, he went to jail. He told me to use my pussy for what it was worth and use these niggas for what they was worth. Now, that's what that nigga told me. And we was married before he went to prison. We didn't get married when he got arrested. It wasn't like, oh, some type of, you know, jailhouse wedding. No, we got married and was married a year. And was together 3 years prior to him even getting arrested and going to prison. So I'm dumbfounded by the fact that he even told me this shit. But throughout my years, shit, I end up, you know, I'm a down-ass bitch, and I did that. Whatever I had to do to make sure he had commissary and I had money to take care of my mom, I did that. So you can look how you want to look. You can judge me how you want to judge me. But throughout that process, I also put myself through college. I also struggled to make my ends meet. I also got myself out of the dope game. I also motherfucking changed my whole entire life around. So, and you ain't got to clap for me, because God already have. Now, shit getting tough. I'm asking Miss Audrey for help. I'm asking, you know, I'm just trying to get as much, like, I'm trying to file a hardship through my employer. I done took this new position. I'm not getting hours. My car is breaking down. You know, I did not win the fucking the competition, which I wasn't really tripping about that. I was really even surprised that I even hadn't made it that far in that competition with, you know, I was surprised. And so somewhere along the lines, you know, and I done set up my business, and I'm trying to do this whole Neo Shots thing, and I'm filing for grants, and I'm, you know, trying to get the word out about my product, trying to get the word out about, you know, me advocating for people with HIV, you know, me, you know, just trying to make something positive. I'm trying to write a book about it, which I done actually wrote basically the whole entire book at this point. So now at this point, I got somebody reviewing the book. You know what I'm saying? But nothing is producing any money. This is all in the making. The book is in the making. The product is in the making. You know what I'm saying? The business is in the making. You know? So I'm finding an outlet in doing my music, which I literally never even go to a studio to record. Like, I literally get on my iPhone, downloaded BandLab, and started recording my own shit. Started making my own beats. I use fucking, matter of fact, these the headphones I use to record my music. I don't even got a fucking mic. Like, if it wasn't for Ascension sending me this PA system, I wouldn't even have this. So I'm trying to figure out, why is Miss Green and, you know, acting like I'm trying to scam the system. Like, to me, is looking at my social media, and, you know, these hoes done got jealous. And because they done got jealous, they trying to make shit complicated for me. So here we is. I done turned in my 2-week notice at the job because of a particular situation that happened there. My car had broke down. The battery had went completely dead. And I had jumper cables, but I did not have anyone to jump me. So I went inside my place of employment. Now that I'm at St. John's Ascension, St. Vincent's Ascension, that's a mouthful. St. John's Ascension, St. Vincent's Medical Center. That's where I'm at now. And my car, the battery done went dead. My ex-husband ain't no help. I can't even call him and tell him to come give me a jump out there. So I go back in my place of employment, and I tell my coworkers, I say, man, my battery is dead. Is it possible? I said, I got jumper cables. I know how to hook them up. Is it possible that anybody, like any one of y'all, could come and maybe, like, you know, pull your car up to mine so I could jump my car and start my battery and take my ass home? These bitches completely overlook me and ignore me and don't even talk to me and act as if I'm not even saying nothing to them. So now I'm feeling like, okay, these people know about my HIV positive status. And now they're being nasty. Now they're acting like I'm not a human being. I don't exist. Like, you hear me talking and you overlook me and start talking to the next person over there. That I know what that means. I know what that is. That's some real fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? And you feel justified in doing so. You feel justified by the simple fact that I'm HIV positive, so you feel justified in treating me less than a human. So I end up, some kind of way, by the grace of God, that car crunk. I took my ass home, and that night, from my own personal email, matter of fact, not even that night from my own personal email, as I sat at work, frustrated by the fact that now one of my fellow co-workers would even give me a jump. I turned in my 2 weeks notice. I mean, I was only getting 7 hours a week. I was only getting 56 hours a month, you know, and it was just to the point where it was pointless for me to continue being there. You know, I should have never took that position. I should have never transferred from the original position that I held as a PRN into a temporary position, you know, as a phlebotomist in the hospital. You know, I felt like I made a very bad decision by doing that. But I sometimes you make wrong decisions. Sometimes you make right decisions. You know, you gotta roll with it. So I didn't blame nobody. I didn't point the finger at nobody. But I did, however, you know, this is September 9 of 2022. I did reach out to a few people by way of a letter. I basically told, you know, how I'm HIV positive. I led with that because I want to live my authentic truth. And I know this story seems like it's all over the place, but you got to imagine this took place over the course of 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So I'm dealing with a lemon law lawyer. I done wrote and told people that I am in fact HIV positive and that, you know, I'm financially going through some shit right now. And I have reached out. I'm sorry, y'all. I have reached out to several different organizations to no avail. I reached out to Catholic Charities. The lady asked me for my financial documents and information. I sent it. Didn't hear nothing back from her. I've got in contact with a Joya Cogdale by way of Miss Audrey Green, and she actually said she was gonna, you know, assist me. And, you know, I even contacted my landlord and told her, you know, yeah, I'm HIV positive. I said, but, you know, I'm trying to get this organization to help pay these bills, and all you got to do is register so you can be authorized to receive the payment. Well, I never got a response from her after that. She ain't wrote me back yet. And she basically refused to sign up to accept the payment. That was in September of 2022. It's now 2023, and I have continued, you know, to no avail, to contact organizations that say that they help people with HIV and AIDS. I have continued to reach out to these organizations and many more. You know, I've even sent my letter to news people. And I ain't got no response from nobody. You know, they are currently doing an investigation. And well, really, they currently is trying to figure out which organization is going to investigate my claims for discrimination. Because the landlord decided, after I sent her the information about me being HIV positive, every month since that month, she has been putting notices to vacate on my door. She won't register to receive the payment by way of these organizations on my behalf. She's being real nasty about it. And I really feel as though, you know, it's an attack on my stability. It's an attack on my stability. She did this on purpose. Like, you let 6 months pass before you even filed for an eviction. And now the organizations that was willing to help me won't even return my email. Nobody won't help. I even had my mama contact womenvets.org, Amy Collins, who I basically got on the phone, and a level of such frustration. Like, I was so frustrated to where I told this lady, like, look, I'm not even concerned about me having somewhere to stay, because I know I could tough it out and I'll be all right. I am, however, concerned about my 62-year-old mother who has bad knees, HIV, bone spurs on her feet, you know, high blood pressure. I have nothing but concern for her, not having nowhere to stay, not knowing what's going to happen from day to day. They then got so bad to where I filed the discrimination claims against my landlord, and she basically responded with an eviction notice. And now they're trying to evict me. They refuse to renew my lease. Most of these organizations will not assist you if you don't have a lease. Like, she's being very spiteful and vengeful. Miss D. Campbell, I see you, boo. I see what you're doing. I see what you did. You know, you waited until it was past the time frame for people to assist me on purpose. You refused to renew my lease on purpose so these people can't assist me. You don't even care about the fact that you violating laws. I would pull up the statute, but I'm not finna get into that. If y'all want to see the documentation and y'all want to see, you know, what I'm talking about and my proof that what I'm talking about ain't no bullshit, y'all could watch the 63-minute video. If you get to the 30-minute mark of the 63 video, that's when all the documentation starts. So it will basically take you through emails, documents, so on and so forth. Now, in the process of all of this, me going through all of the documents, trying to prove that my AC unit got mold in it. It's black mold. It's so bad to where the fucking mold is separating. It's separating the ceiling. Okay? It's that bad. Now, I'm just gonna show y'all this shit. It's separating. It's mold all in here. Mom, let me see your phone so I can use it for the light. Look at this shit. And it's just leaking. It's just leaking. Look at that. Okay. Here you go. Thank you. You don't have to cut the light off. Yeah, and you can see it all on the floor. Like, yeah. So this is what I've been living in, you know, and you want me to pay rent, and you won't even accept the payment from the people who are willing to make the payment on my behalf. You won't renew my lease so that these people can make the payment on my behalf. You didn't even fraudulently claim that I did not pay September's rent when I have proof that I did in fact pay September's rent. I done contacted Lutheran Services. They says that, oh, it's so far back because September, they can't pay September, they can't pay September. I said, I paid September's rent. I got proof that I paid September's rent. You still can't help me? They don't want to help me. You know why they don't want to help me? Is because I've been publicly discussing the fact that I'm being discriminated against and I'm being retaliated for being a whistleblower. Like, they literally are retaliating against me for being a whistleblower. They are discriminating against me for being HIV positive. And I'm not making this shit up. I got emails upon emails upon emails that I done sent out to all different types of organizations that say that they help people with HIV. I done even contacted people in Tallahassee about this shit. They keep telling me, call Lutheran Services. Everybody is referring me back to Lutheran Services. So if everybody is referring me back to Lutheran Services and Lutheran Services has determined that they don't want to help me. Even the Women's Vets for Org tried to tell my mama that they couldn't help her because of me. I told her, shit, don't worry about getting me no place. Just get my mama some motherfucking where to go. I'll be okay. They don't want to do that. So I done filed claims with the Human Rights Commission. I done filed claims with HUD. HUD has informed me that there is an ongoing investigation. However, HUD and the Human Rights Commission, the Jacksonville Human Rights Commission, JHRC, and HUD are basically trying to determine which department is going to perform my investigation. All in all, while I'm waiting on y'all to figure out what y'all gonna do, I done been served with a motherfucking eviction notice. I don't got nowhere to go. I don't got no motherfucking friends. I don't got no motherfucking family that's gonna help me. I've been doing this shit on my own for years. Me and my mama, we all we got. I done had to take and give my car to my ex-husband, so instead of getting a fucking repossession on my credit report, he done took over the payments, he done took over the car. I don't even got a car no more. It's his car. Y'all basically is refusing me help that y'all supposed to give me. Y'all organizations say this shit on y'all web page. Y'all take photo ops with black women and they children. And y'all claim to help women like us. Now this is a 2-for-1. What's stopping you? What's stopping you from assisting us? Is it because I'm a YouTuber? I ain't got that many subscribers, so that's fucking non-fact. I ain't getting paid for this shit. I'm really just doing this shit so the next person that's going through it can get through it. You know, and yeah, I'm mad as fuck. And I got every right to be mad. I got every right to be hurt. I got every right to feel like a throwaway. But I also have every right to stand in my faith of the Most High and say, you ain't gonna win, devil. Try as you may, try as you might, you ain't gonna win this fight. You ain't gonna win it. Now, I know I kind of went through a lot of information. So if y'all have questions, y'all have any concerns, y'all feel free to comment in the comment section. If you want to say something negative, I don't even care. You can type that shit in the comment section. I don't care. You ain't hurt me. I done been called everything but a child of God, boo. Everything but a child of God. And this was before the age of 11. So don't feel like I'm going to feel some type of way if you got something negative to say, because I'm not. Don't feel like your comments gonna hurt me, because they won't. You know. But for those that support, it don't take nothing to hit that subscribe button. So do that. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you don't want to do that, keep watching from the sidelines. It's fine. Keep watching and see if the devil gonna win. And I guarantee you, while you watching and waiting for the devil to win, I'm gonna walk my ass right into a victory. I promise you that, boo. So that's my story. And you know, it's choppy, you know, because it's a lot of shit that done happened. I am writing a book about it. I'm, you know, currently going back and forth with my ghostwriters, trying to figure out why they haven't really made no adjustments to the content that I've done sent them. Like, they haven't really changed anything. And I'm just, you know, packing my shit up out this house, because in a couple of days, I know that the sheriff is going to be here to kick me out. So I'm probably going to have to get a storage unit and put my stuff in storage, so that way I don't have to leave my shit on the corner. I'm going to have to get a U-Haul truck. You know, luckily I know what to do. You know, but because the organizations that claim to help me won't help me, and they won't help my mama, I don't know where we gonna go. Because my ex-husband is now taking over that car, I don't even have a car to sleep in. So as strong as I am, as much that I have overcome, as much that I have overcome, and as strong as I am, as strong as my mama is, because she being strong, I know she's worried as well as me. You know, we just two ghetto girls stuck in fucking poverty, asking these organizations that claim to help people like us to do their fucking job. Do the job that you signed up to do. You're a civil servant. Like, you're a servant. Serve the people that you claim that you serve. Because when I look into your financial records, like you dig through mine, I see y'all giving loans out to y'all board members. I see y'all giving money to y'all board members. I see one year y'all had $240 million to assist people with. And not one program was initiated for people with HIV and AIDS. If y'all don't believe me, check the fucking proof. 63 minutes. Check the proof. They literally gave one of their board members a $70,000 fucking loan. But you can't help me. You ran out of funds. You can't help me. That's what you told me. Lutheran Services, you are full of shit. And you getting money funded to your organization to help people with HIV and AIDS, and you ain't doing that. You ain't doing that. The city of Jacksonville is full of shit. It's corruption all around us. Everybody taking these photo ops with their hands in their pockets and them deceitful ass smiles on their faces. Bitch, I see you. Yeah, I see you. I see you. I see the corruption. I see the fact that you lying in your pocket with money that was meant to fund other initiatives other than funding your fucking lifestyle. Yeah, I see you. I see all of y'all. And y'all can stop asking me why I'm telling people I'm HIV positive, because just as much as I don't have to expose my HIV positive status, I also don't have to hide it. And if it makes you uncomfortable, that's you. Feel some type of way, boo. But what I'm not going to do is creep and crawl in the dark like I'm a fucking criminal. Because, bitch, I left the criminal life a long time ago. So when I left that criminal life, I left the need to always have to watch my back. I left the need to always have to feel like the police is coming after me. I left the need to feel attacked by the government. I left all that shit behind when I left the streets. I bust my ass to make sure that I was an upstanding citizen. I bust my ass to make sure that I could take care of my mama when she couldn't take care of herself. My mama's 62 years old. I can't put my weight on her. So if y'all ain't gonna help me, don't help me. Help my motherfucking mama. Help her get a place to stay. I work on me. But do something other than judge me and treat me like a fucking common criminal. Like I'm literally a tax-paying, voter-registered citizen of the United States of America. I deserve everything I'm asking for. Because I'm not asking, give me money so I can go and get drugs, honey. I'm not asking, give me money so I can go shopping. I'm not asking you to give me money. What I'm asking you to do is put my mama in a place so she can have a place to call home. I'll figure out what I'm going to do on my own. But if you're not going to help me, that's cool. I'm accepting of that. But help my mama, man. She's a military fucking vet. She's HIV positive. She's a black woman in a impoverished neighborhood. She's below the poverty level. Why you can't help her? You know? Why you can't help her? Why you can't help her? Why you signed up to do this job if you weren't going to do it?